Okay, now from graph we will derive relation between velocity and time, that is called velocity time relation, or it is called first equation of motion, that is v is equal to u plus at. Okay, we will derive this equation. Now you can see this graph. In this graph there is uniform acceleration. An object is moving from A to B with uniform acceleration. Now suppose the velocity of an object at position A is u, that is initial velocity is u, and velocity of object at position B is v, that is final velocity is b. Now suppose if we draw one line parallel to OC, that is line AD. Okay, that OC is parallel to AD. OC represents the time taken by an object. In the same way, AD is also equal to t time taken by an object. Now initial velocity OA is u. In the same way, DC is also equal to u. In the same way, OE is final velocity v. And in the same way, BC is also equal to final velocity, that is v. Okay, so this length of this line is equal to u and this line is equal to v. Now from graph, you can see this BC, is equal to BD plus DC. So we will write BC is equal to BD plus DC. Now as we see this BC is equal to OA. So in place of DC we will write OA. Okay. So BC is equal to BD plus OA. Now substituting the value of BC is equal to V. As I told you, this is final velocity V. So this is also equal to V, and this is OA is A, that is equal to U. So BC is equal to V and OA is equal to U. Now object is moving with initial velocity V and initial velocity U, final velocity V, and it is moving with uniform acceleration A in time t. So BC is equal to BD plus OA. So in place of BC you will write V. So V is equal to BD plus, in place of OA you will write U. So V is equal to BD plus U, and therefore BD is equal to V minus U. Let us name this equation as equation 1. Okay. Now as acceleration is equal to small a. Now what is the definition of acceleration? Change in velocity upon time. Now from this graph, change in velocity is equal to Vt. What is velocity? Change in velocity? Actually it is V minus U. So V minus U, you will get Bd. So Bd upon time taken is Ad. Or you can say Bd upon OC, because Ad is equal to OC. Now A is equal to Bd upon time t. Or you can say that Bd is equal to, when you take this t at this place, you will get Bd is equal to At. Let us name this equation as 2. So we are having two equations, Bd is equal to V minus U and Bd is equal to At. And from this equation 1 and 2 we can say that V minus U is equal to At. Okay, V minus U is equal to At, and therefore if we change the side, V is equal to U plus At, and this is the first equation of motion. This is how we can derive first equation of motion from this time velocity graph. Now we will do second equation of motion, that is equation for position time relation. Now in this, see from the graph you can see an object has traveled from object has traveled from A to B with initial velocity A and final velocity BC. Initial velocity OA and final velocity BC. Now as I explained you earlier, if you want to find the distance traveled by this object, then distance S is equal to area under this graph O, A, B and C. Okay, and you can see this, it is forming a trapezium. So distance S is equal to O, A, B, C, that is area of trapezium. Now if you see this clearly, this trapezium can be divided into a rectangle, that is area of rectangle plus area of triangle. It means area, this entire area of trapezium is equal to area of rectangle plus area of this triangle. So we'll write area of rectangle AOBC plus area of triangle ABD. Now, what is the formula to find area of rectangle? It is length multiplied by breadth. So from this figure we will write length is, that is area of this rectangle is equal to OA multiplied by OC. Okay, OA multiplied by OC, that is length multiplied by breadth. Same way, area of triangle is equal to half base into height. So from this triangle we will write half base AD multiplied by height BD. So we have written this from the graph. Now we will put the values of this. Now from graph, what is OA? OA is actually initial velocity u. In the same way, OC is equal to time. So OC is equal to t. And length of OC is same as length of AD. So AD is also equal to t. Now we remember from the velocity time relation, BD is equal to AT. That we have done in the previous equation. So all these values we will substitute in this equation and we get S is equal to UT. Okay, in place of OA you will put U, in place of OC you will put T. So UT plus half AD is equal to T and this BD is equal to AT. So in place of BD you will write AT. So you will simplify it, so it will become S is equal to UT plus half AT square, and this is our second equation of motion, that is relation between position and time. Position means this distance and time means t. So this is the second equation of motion, that is position time relation. Now we will derive third equation of motion, that is equation for position velocity relation. Okay, now again from graph we can say that distance traveled by an object is equal to area of trapezium O, A, B and C. Right? Now here directly we will write the values from graph, that is area of trapezium is equal to half height multiplied by A plus B. This is the formula. But what is actually A and B? So here you have to write that area of trapezium is equal to sum of two parallel sides, that is OA plus BC multiplied by perpendicular side, that is OC, upon 2. Right? Area of trapezium is equal to sum of two parallel sides multiplied by perpendicular side upon 2. Okay? So now from graph, OA is equal to U, BC is equal to V and OC is equal to T. Now we will put all these values in this equation. So S is equal to OA U plus BC V and OC is T. So U plus V by 2 into T. Now from first equation of motion, that is velocity time relation, we know that V is equal to U plus AT. If you convert it in terms of T, then T is equal to V minus U by 2. Now this value of T we will put here. So this point you have to remember, okay, all these values you will write from graph, but value of T you will put from the velocity time relation. So it will become S is equal to U plus V by 2, that is same, and in place of this T you will put this V minus U by T, that is V minus U by A. Right? Now if you see this carefully, U plus V and V minus U. So in place of U plus V, if I write V plus U, its meaning will not change. Now you see it S is equal to V plus U and V minus U upon 2A. Now V plus U, V minus U is actually the form of A plus B, A minus B that you have studied in fractions. So it will be A square minus B square. So this will be V square minus U square. So S is equal to V square minus U square upon 2A. And if you bring this 2A on this side, it will become 2AS is equal to V square minus U square. And this is position velocity relation, that is third equation of motion. So in this, the main point you have to remember is the value of T. Value of T you have to put from the first equation of motion, that is T is equal to V minus U by T. I hope you all understand this. circular motion. Now we know what is circular motion. The motion of an object or a body in a circular path is called circular motion. For example, motion of giant wheel, motion of merry-go-round, then motion of planets around the sun. These are all circular motion. Actually, motion of planets around the sun is not exactly circular motion. It is little elliptical motion, but as it is a very large distance, then we may assume it as a circular motion. Now, what is uniform circular motion? First, one thing I'll tell you about circular motion, that in circular motion the speed may be same or may be different, right? Now see, suppose the circular motion is like this. Some object, if it is moving constantly like this is its motion is called circular motion. Now suppose see, we have already studied about velocity. Now velocity is actually vector quantity, right? And in vector quantity we have to consider magnitude and direction. Okay, now in circular motion you can see an object is moving constantly and the direction is represented by the line which is tangential to the circle. Matlab, suppose an object is at position A, then its direction of position will be like this. Now let me explain you this more clearly. Suppose an object is moving in a straight line with velocity, suppose 5 meter per second. So you can say this is uniform motion because velocity is constant and direction is not changing, right? Because velocity, as I said, it is a vector quantity, and direction and magnitude we have to consider. If direction is changing, then also velocity changes. If magnitude changes, then also velocity changes, and if both change, then also velocity is changing. And in this, all the three cases, we say that motion is accelerated motion, right? Now suppose the object is moving like this. First it is going straight, velocity is same 5 meter per second, then it is turning, again it is taking turn, and again it is taking turn, right? So although in this, suppose here also object is moving with velocity 5 meter per second, but in this full journey object has changed the direction how many times? 4 times. Here first, second, third and fourth. So this motion, you can say, it is not moving with constant velocity, so it is not uniform motion, but you can say it is accelerated motion because velocity is changing, and whenever velocity change we say it is accelerated motion. Now same way, if we increase the number of sides, suppose an object is moving like this, although the velocity is again 5 meter per second, but side is changing how many times? See, this many time direction is changing, so this motion is also accelerated motion. Same way for circular motion, suppose an object is moving in the circular motion, then at every point its direction is changing, and that direction is represented by the tangent to the circle, and so circular motion is called accelerated motion. So what is the meaning of uniform circular motion then? See, uniform circular motion means if a body or object moves in a circular path with uniform speed, and its motion is called uniform circular motion. So although an object is moving with uniform speed, but its direction is constantly changing, so uniform circular motion is different from normal uniform motion. Actually uniform circular motion is called accelerated motion. Uniform circular motion is accelerated motion because in a circular motion a body continuously changes its direction. Now how do we find the distance covered by an object in circular motion? Now for circular motion, distance covered by an object is actually if an object starts from this point and completes the entire circle and come back to the point, then actually the distance covered is equal to the boundary of the circle, and the boundary of circle we name it as circumference. So distance covered in circular motion is equal to circumference, that is 2 pi r. Okay, now suppose the one round is completed in suppose time t seconds, then velocity is equal to distance upon time, that is velocity is equal to 2 pi r upon time. So distance of circular motion can be found by this formula, s is equal to 2 pi r, and velocity of circular motion can be found by v is equal to 2 pi r upon t. Okay, distance of one round and this velocity of one round we can find by this formula. Now in this figure you can see the circular motion of an object. Here the direction of motion, as I said, it is perpendicular to the, or you can say it is a tangent to the circle. Then acceleration of circular motion is towards the center. Okay, so in circular motion the angle formed between the tangent, or an angle formed between the tangent and the direction of acceleration is 90 degree. So in circular motion the direction and acceleration are perpendicular to each other. Okay, so this was all about the chapter. Here we end this chapter. I hope you all understood this. Okay, thank you and bye.